Kicks in
good?
the house. What's good, Los? What's going on, my brother?
How you doing, man? I'm doing great, bro. How about yourself?
I'm well. I'm healthy. Family's healthy. I can't complain. Kick game is strong.
Of
We've been
course,
busy. I've been
always.
busy. Yeah, man. So, dude, you're part of the group chat that we always talk about the community, which I think is huge. Especially right now with
Yeah.
COVID and everything. Like we got brothers to go to and ask questions about, but I don't know your backstory. So tell me about kind of like when you started, like where you're at and where you kind of plan on going. Give me that.
Shoot. All right. Okay, bro. So, where I started, where Villiers Kick started. So, before I was ever so growing up, I was always into sneakers. I'm gonna let that be known first. I was always a sneakerhead. You know what I'm saying? I always liked shoes. When I got to high school, I stepped away from wearing shoes as much just because I started to realize how much of a hype thing it had become. And at that point in my life, I was just trying to be different than everybody else. But after a while, you know what I'm saying, I graduated high school, started working, got into some money, man. And I realized I was like, I always really like shoes, man. I was like, man, there's no reason that I should just stop doing or wearing something I love just because everybody's kind of hopping onto it and starting to love it too. So after that point, I realized I could do my own thing with them, and I started back wearing shoes again. So
That's what's up.
from that point, I started back wearing shoes, and then I got into some business that, in all honesty, I probably shouldn't have got into, but I got into a little bit of trouble behind that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure a few of us have at one point or another. And so from that point, I got into a little bit of trouble, man. And then I met my life partner now. Her name is Kathy. And we ended up getting into a situation where I ended up having a daughter on the way. So I realized, okay, I got to make some life decisions. You know what I'm saying? I got to switch up how I was moving a little bit. So I realized it'd be best if I decided to do something that allowed me to live a similar lifestyle to how I was already living, as far as having free time, being able to move when I needed to move and how I needed to move, but of course, legal. So I realized the perfect thing for me to sell would be sneakers. It had to be something I was already interested in. It had to be something I already liked. Totally. And I like sneakers. So at that point, I realized I could get into reselling. So I started following resellers on Instagram. I started just learning a little bit about the market, you know what I'm saying, and how certain shoes move, how certain people sell shoes. And I learned about beater boxes. So this is where, you know what I'm saying, things started to cross over from reselling to restoration, you know what I'm saying? So I learned about the beater boxes. I knew how to clean shoes since a kid. So, you know what I'm saying, I started off deep cleaning pairs, and I realized okay, I'm getting money out of cleaning them, but some of them need a little bit more than that. Yeah. So I get on YouTube, start watching Vic Almighty
videos. Vic,
big
shouts to Vic Almighty. Shouts to Vic Almighty.
If only you knew, bro.
I hope to get him on here one day. Yeah, that'd be a big one. That'd be a big one.
Bro, next season, man, you got to shoot for it, bro. You got to email him or something, bro. Worst thing to tell you is no.
That's right. That's right. So
worst thing to tell you is no.
I hear you. So you just kind of rolled with it, started. Now, everyone's got to pick up a paintbrush sooner or later. So that had to have come along. That had to come along. Probably next, right? You're deep cleaning. You're doing all that. You're cleaning mesh, and you're learning as you go, right? I mean, is that right?
Doubt. No doubt, bro.
And it never ends. It never ends.
And that's the coolest thing about it, bro. So you know what I'm saying? You get to the point where all right, you learn one thing, then you learn another thing. You're okay, you're starting to realize majority of things that you see people doing in the videos, as long as you follow more or less the same steps, you can do those same things. You know what I'm saying? I start doing them, making mistakes, which of course is a part of the learning curve. And I realized,
absolutely,
okay, I can definitely get good at this as long as I just keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? So
keep pushing. That's the biggest thing, is keep pushing, man. No doubt. That's huge. So where do you see yourself kind of going? What are you, restorations, you customs, you flips, you just kind of in the middle of everything, you learning? I kind of a little bit of everything. So what about you?
All right. So with customs, I'm working towards it, but I'm not comfortable with customs yet. At this point, I'm still perfecting my restoration skills before I cross over into customs. I grew up, I never really had a huge artistic eye as far as painting or drawing or anything. Some people got it. I'm gonna be honest, I was just never that person that had it. So if people come to me with a concept, I'm sure I could do it. But just doing it myself, I don't know. But I feel you, know what I'm saying? We the same in that aspect. But
That's
as far as finish your saying.
Yeah, no, go ahead, finish. Just like you were saying custom, so you're leaning more towards the restoration side. So that's where you're comfortable at. But always
restorations and flips, like I definitely like if you follow the page, you know what I'm saying, people watch the story sales, people see like I definitely have inventory for sale, you know what I'm saying? So like that's kind of how I balance it. Like the way I do my reselling is just a little bit different than the average reseller, you know what I'm saying? Most people look for drops, they try to catch shoes on release dates, you know what I'm saying, like DS pairs, selling the StockX and things like that. But me, I like to buy beaters, fix them up, restore them, and get them posted on the page,
So you should be seeing your Instagram up on the page right now. So I've done a couple alternate 89s, and those, that's people look at that shoe and that's like they look at that first picture and they're like, oh, those are done. But me and you, we look at those the 89s and I'm man, that just needs to be deoxidized, a little white paint, and those are back to brand new. I can't tell you how many pairs I flipped to those. That's something we have in common. Our whole storyline. I'm gonna jump back over here. Our whole storyline is very, very, very similar. Where are you from again?
So I'm originally from Tampa, Florida. That's where I was born. Up until 6th grade, shouts out to the A13, no doubt. I bounced back between Tampa, Florida, and Fayetteville, North Carolina, where I'm at now.
That's what I thought.
6th grade.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's technically home. That's home. Like
no doubt.
I was born in San Jose, and my family's out there. But Sacramento is like where I grew up, outside Sacramento, and that's why NorCal. I represent NorCal as a whole. You know what I mean? It's just amazing. The people you come across that we all kind of grew up the same way, man. Like we had this passion for kicks, and I lost my passion too. That's what I was saying is that like I sold all my shoes. I was down to like a pair of SBs. I like liquidated everything. Like probably 3 times over, and then I finally got into it, and my partner Ashley, who was the one who's super artistic and does knitting, watercolor, her own greeting cards, she's like, well, why don't you try this, why don't you try painting? You could do that, and push me to do the same thing. So it's like very much the same story as you have. Like it's amazing. It's like I kind of hear the same, not the same story, but
like the same progression. Yep, same progression.
Yeah, very much so. So did you get a PS5? You copped one, didn't you? You didn't. Oh man. I don't.
Bro, I could cry.
Tell me about it.
Okay.
I know.
I could cry, man. I did not get the PS5, bro. I'm gonna keep trying, but no, I did not get the PS5. And it's crazy. I'm gonna tell you how they did me, bro. They did me so wrong. So it was in my cart, and then it just error occurred, and I couldn't pay for it. Nothing happened. So
it's like the sneakers
no
app,
PS5.
Right?
Yeah. It's like
the sneakers out. It's like there, but then it's gone, and you're like, what happened to my pair that was in the cart? Like thought we were all good. I actually haven't bought
all 2020, man.
Oh man, I actually haven't bought a new pair of shoes in a long time. Are you that same way? Like I'd rather buy a pair like either VNDS, very near dead stock, or use and fix them up and rock them and do it that way. Or do you cop DS and what's your preference?
Well, I almost never cop shoes DS, bro. I'm definitely a used guy. You know what I'm saying? It's in the name, bro. They'll use kicks but ironically, the last pair that I grabbed that was DS, I grabbed the Pine Greens just to try to tap into the DS market a little bit.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, they're ones, they're highs, they should go for they should resell. And then when they released, they braked. Like they braked so hard, bro. Like they're kind of going up now, but they braked so hard when they came out. So at that point, I was just like, okay, I think I'm gonna go back to used shoes. But one thing I'm gonna say that's kind of cool about the way Villius Kicks works, I get so many pairs in, you know what I'm saying, used pairs, and get them out, like not restoration orders, of course, but like inventory pairs that I buy out of my own money that I sell. So like sometimes when I get pairs that are my size, I'll fix them up, and while they're in my inventory list, I'll rock them. Yep.
I'm 100% same way. I love 11.5, 12. If someone's got a used pair, I'm copping them, cleaning them up, fixing them, rocking them. And then once they're already up for sale with good pictures taken, and then I'm gonna clean them up real quick right before the sale and flip them. That's called a flip. That's a flip. That's basically a flip right there. You just got I've copped so many shoes and flipped so many that like doing it that way has made me like, why would I buy a new pair of shoes? Why would I spend $225 when I can get this pair for $90, $75? $80 and clean them up. All they need is an icing. You kidding me? Like I got that stuff unlocked. That's already unlocked. And clearly going back here. Let me see to your Instagram page. You ice these bad boys out. That is an ice job if I've ever seen one.
I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, walk us through that. Tell us, is that an inventory pair you copped, or is that a customer? And there's your prices and everything.
Yeah, so those prices aren't updated. Before I appreciate, you know what I'm saying, like for shouting everybody seen that, but just that price is updated. DM me now for updated pricing. I'll definitely make sure everybody gets right. But as far as on those 11s, bro, that was actually a customer order, and it's crazy because those were yellow, but they cleaned up so much quicker than I would have thought. Like some pairs, you know what I'm saying? Like they take 4 sessions, 5 sessions.
Yes.
That was 2 sessions, bro. I think that was like 1 12-hour session and then like another like 3-hour session. Like it was like 1.5 hour on each side just to make sure that the sides had gotten as icy as the bottom.
Yeah. I do the same way. I'm the same way on that. Those came out
up very
clean, bro. Those came out clean. What's your preference in sauce?
Actually, bro, I use it's a generic brand. I use it's called Superstar 40 volume cream. It's one of the cheapest ones you can find, bro. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm definitely at some point gonna try all the big name sauces, you know, the CCKs, like the Angeles.
Hit me up before you buy something. Hit me up before you buy something.
Yeah, I gotta get your review, no doubt.
I'll put you on to what's really worth the money, because I'll tell you what, I tried some of this stuff and you're better off with the Salon Care 40. It's just them rebottling, but I got to give shouts to CCK, man. Like I've tested like one-on-one tested versus damn near every other pair, and only Gotta Souls and Salon Care 50 have come the closest to CCK, and CCK has a nice scent. So when they're in there, it smells good. So it's like, it's got like that little bit of edge, but whatever works, man. What, like, to each his own. Like, you know, Dre the Shoe God he uses blue dish soap to clean his kicks. Like, shouts to him. Like, that, if it works for him, that's what it's about. And like we find our own ways. Everybody finds their own ways. We have this little group that we kind of take suggestions from, but like we all kind of find our own route and make it our own, and like, you know, to each his own. So big ups to you for, you know, doing it your own way and not just buying into the brand and buying into this and buying into that. Because I bought into the hype when I first started trying. I was like, oh, Reshoevn-Ator, I'm getting Angelus, this and that, and I'm buying all this. And then I was like, man, I'm really disappointed with some of these products, and unfairly blocked for, you know, constructively criticizing some of the bigger brands. Well, that remain nameless. I don't need to shout them out, but you know, it's been a hell of a ride. How long have you been? Do you have a small business license? Are you rocking that? Are you getting close to that?
Yeah, so I do have my LLC. Yeah, Values Kicks is I definitely have my LLC, but I don't operate under it yet. I'm still getting my my financial bearings, you know what I'm saying? Because like something like an LLC is very easy to mess up and lose if you don't do things correctly. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as doing things like piercing your corporate field. Bro. Like, so I'm learning. I'm learning right now. You know what I'm saying? I went ahead and secured it but I secured it off of the strength of people who are in a place where I'd like to be, letting me know that was a move I needed to make. But at this point, I realized like it's best for me to go ahead and gain all the knowledge I can about it before I actually attempt to like put it into use. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
But I do have my LLC. I went ahead and got it.
Congratulations. That's huge.
Appreciate it, bro.
That's a big step. I know when I made that step, you know, to actually make an LLC and then operate, you know, NorCal Sneaker Restoration underneath that. And then, you know, the next thing I know, I'm creating spreadsheets for incoming inventory, you know, inventory versus customer orders, and then writing out receipts and handing out receipts. You know, I hand out a sticker with what's written on the back. You know, I write what I did on the back and I give them my sticker. So that's their copy of the receipt. So like, it's kind of like I don't have like a printer to print out the receipts for them, but it's still like I'm operating, you know, under the law by giving them a receipt and doing that. So that's something that people look for, man. I know I got a lot of sales by having, you know, mentioning having my small business license, and people have, you know, sent their orders in because of that, because they trust that you're not going to run off with their pairs, which ain't nobody gonna run off with your pairs, bro. Like, I hate when people ask that question.
Man,
like,
you'd be surprised, bro. I've had a couple customers. I've had a few people like ask for other ways to contact me. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, bro, is there another way I can get up with you, bro? Like, I just don't want, you know what I'm saying, like your page like disappear or something like that.
Can I come by your house? Can I know where you like exactly where you live?
You know what I'm saying? Just other stuff like that, or like how do I know you're legit or something like that? I kind of just I say to most of them, I say, you know what I'm saying, like, just check out my page. This post right here, you see you got a blue sneaker on it. It's called a reference post. If you scroll through these comments, you'll see I've had over 100 transactions with people, and they've all left me a good positive reference as a comment. And I just kind of let people know from there, like, I can show you my work, I can show you my references. If you don't trust me from there, then you're better off going to somebody who you trust. In all honesty, you know, like you can't force comfortability upon anybody, you know, like you can do is provide them with as much info as you can, and however they feel from there is just how they feel. And most people, once I show them either my work or my references, they're like, oh, okay, cool, like I trust you. But of course, occasionally I get the one skeptical customer, you know what I'm saying, that like gives me their shoes. And then, like, you know what I'm saying, right after they give me their shoes, they're texting me, hey, man, everything all right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess just making sure that I'm not ghosting them or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I just always like, yeah, man, everything's cool. Working on them. They'll be done by this date. They might check in. I'd be like, yeah, everything's still fine. You know?
What's your turnaround time?
So I tell people 2 weeks. Majority of the time, it ends up being a little bit longer than 2 weeks.
Always. About that. If you're gonna do a good job, it's a little bit longer. It's like I tell people 7 to 10 days, and I'm usually at the 14 to 17 mark, depending on how much work is really in it. And like, you know, there's just been some shoes that like, I'm like, oh my God, like you saw those Bapes that I'm working on, like I'm still working on those, and it's, I don't know if I'll ever finish.
And see, that's the thing that people have to understand about the orders. Like, all right, so if I was to just do a random estimate right now, because see, the way I have my room set up, I separate my inventory and what I sell from actual orders, restoration orders. As far as orders right now, I know there's at least 20, right? And out of those 20 that people got to consider, each person has been given this same, you know what I'm saying, 2.5 to 3 week turnaround time. And not only that, but like, some people might just need a deep clean or like a deep clean and an ice job, but some people's shoes are like cooked to the brink. They need like repaint, suede dye, re-glue, sole ice, deep clean, the whole works.
Full restoration, restoration.
Exactly. Yeah. So like, and the thing is, for me to be able to do all of that and not give anybody a shortened, lesser, or like half done product, sometimes it's gonna take time, and sometimes the wait times are going to be longer, especially considering the prices, you know, because like there are some companies who are charging like 4 and 5 times what we're charging, you know, like
we all generally charge in the same, we're all in the same ballpark, you know, like, and then I'm speaking for VK Customs, bringing back Use Kicks, NorCal Sneaker Restorations, Notario Restoration. We're all kind of in the
just
same
a little chat,
yeah, just
right.
the homies, you know, the homies that we've had on so far. And it's, you know, Dre the Shoe God, even he, you know, the prices are all pretty much the same. But some people, they're charging what it costs to get a brand new pair of shoes, and I just don't agree with that. Like if it's a full restoration, price might be up there a little bit. If they're fully cooked and you want a sole swap and you want everything done, like I mean it needs everything. Like I did a pair of True Blues recently where it needed a sole swap, and I charged $100, you know, for a restoration, you know, repaint, sole swap. You know, I replaced the back tab, you know, and that cost an extra. I went through somebody else where now I've got a 3D printer and I'm working on creating my own back tab so I don't have to do that no more. Where it was a 2-month wait, you know, like
hey, when you get that down pack, let me know, bro, so I can come shop with you for sure.
I'm working on it, man. It's all about the polymers and getting it to the right feel. I can make them crispy, but getting the right polymer, I just got to find that recipe, and you know I'm gonna get it soon. So I'm excited about that. That's kind of where I'm headed. I'm trying to stay in my own lane, you know, and this whole thing is new to me too. You know, this whole Zoomcast and bringing on the homies and scheduling and being on time and you know putting this whole thing on and editing video. You know, my main thing is shoes. You know, I still have a shoe business to run outside of this, which is been crazy, but it's been a blessing because I think it's given us a voice to whether somebody agrees or disagrees or they need help with something, they know who to go to. I know I've gotten a lot of DMs from people, you know, the couple of views that we've gotten on a couple episodes, you know, I've gotten DMs of people, hey man, I saw your video, hey, what do you suggest for this? And it's gonna happen to you too, I guarantee it. Because you know, people are out there and they got questions and they're not lucky like we are that we have a group to go to and to be a part of. You know, they're out there. And I try to say that there's enough for us all to eat. You know, there's enough for all of us.
No doubt, bro. There's a billion pair of shoes out here, bro. 2 billion, 3 billion. Like there's so many shoes, like man. And you know, the ironic thing that I think about us being in the group that we're in, bro, is like so many people are out here. Like I've met so many kids that come to me and they'll ask questions and they say, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to try this or I don't want to try that because I tried something a time before and completely messed the shoe up, completely ruined the shoe. But like those moments, those parts of the learning curve where you have to mess something up in order to learn, it's because important. We're in a group of like, yes, it's definitely important, but like because we're in a group of 8 or 9 guys who are all experienced and we all know, you know what I'm saying, even though one person might be stronger than another in one area, someone else might be stronger than somebody else in another area. Like you may be able to give me insight that I would have never known that can allow me to avoid making a mistake that, you know what I'm saying, might have cost me time or cost me money. Let it be somebody's shoe, you know what I'm saying? Like, because we both had customers before, you know what I'm saying? Like, just as part of the learning curve, we did something in an attempt to fix their shoe and completely ruined it, bro. Like, I know you've had at least like 1 or 2 situations where you had to tell a customer, hey, I'm sorry, but
and you just try and like make it right, and that's kind of why after those mess ups, that's where I split my pricing up, and I do half up front, half upon a completion. That way, if they're not happy in the end, like we can discuss it and I can fix it and go back to it. But rarely do I have somebody return something now, and it's because I've gone through those growing pains. And I was just talking about that with my girl, that like I'm lucky to have 10 experts in different categories, like on tap. When I need, you know, when I need a little bit of information on if I'm doing foam posits, I'm probably looking to DC and looking to bring them back. You know, if I got this, you know, this problem over here, I know this person's strong with their repaints and their color matching, you know, and that's just something we're very privileged to have. And not everybody gets that, man. We're like, not everybody gets that. And that's a shame, but you know what? It's a game too. It's, you know, there's enough locally for us all to eat in our own individual areas. But I've had people send me customers because some customers don't want to ship, but they might find you somebody from Sacramento might find you, and then you reference me, and I do the same thing.
Right.
Somebody hits me up from a different area that I know one of my homies works out of. I'm gonna send them there instead of having them pay shipping, and
Right.
that's like just sharing the love, man. That's what it's about for me. And this whole thing, like, was about getting us all out there, giving a face to everybody, and giving a chance to, say how it started, where you came from, the grind, messing up shoes, all those growing pains that it takes over the years. And it's been years, man. Like I look at it, I just shared on my Facebook yesterday, like a repaint that I did, like when I got it down, like the first time I got it down, it was a year ago. And I was like, damn, that was yesterday. I was like, and I've grown so much since then,
right,
in different areas. Like, is there any area you feel like you really grown at? Is it like something specifically, or is it just kind of you grown overall?
So I've actually been restoring, like, I've taken restoration serious for about maybe a year and a couple months now. So I can definitely say I've grown in every area, because when I started, I wasn't getting nearly the results in anything that I'm getting now, whether that be icing, painting, anything, reglues. But the things that I definitely say I have to highlight as far as where my growth has been is reglues and repaints, bro. Because there's been a few repaints I've done that I knew were somewhat sloppy, you know what I'm saying? Like, and now a few of the last ones that I've had a few of the homies come over and be like, hey man, you know what I'm saying? Like, these came out years ago. And I'm like, yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? They're pretty clean, right? And they're like, yeah, they look like somebody never wore them. And I'm like,
yeah,
appreciate it. That means that's fat. It looks factory.
That means it looks factory.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I did that. Like, and as far as with reglues, bro, it's been a situation. My first reglue, I let the customer know, like, hey, I've never done one of these before. So like, it's a possibility this might go south. You know what I'm saying? Like, so just basically don't hold me to these.
Don't judge me on it.
Exactly. You know, so like, and I did the Raptors for him, man, and like it came out so clean, and I gave him back to him, and like he called me one day, like, yo, man, like, I'm not mad at you, bro, but I'm pissed. And I'm like, what happened, man? He was like, dude, I was walking at the Dogwood Festival with my girl and some of her friends, and my shoe literally came apart while I was walking. I'm like,
been there. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what I was doing. But like, and then you learn, you
knowing
talk
the right
to people,
product,
you deal
knowing
with
the
people.
right products. Yep.
Exactly, bro. You know what I'm saying? You learn the process, like, and then you find out, like, okay, like, I see what I did wrong. And you get to step into those situations and do better the next time, you know?
Totally. And that's what it's about, man. It's like you just, every time you got to evolve, and you got to evolve with each shoe. Each shoe is different, and like learning the intricacies of each shoe and how to glue it, how to ice it, how to clean it, like cleaning mesh. Like there's so many different ways. So many people got different ways. Like Dre Shoe God uses straight up blue dish soap. Like I'm a completely different lane. I love my JM Jason Mark. I love that. And then I actually dry them under UV lights, so that actually brings the whiteness out of them. And like, that's how I get my whites whiter, is once I've cleaned them like twice and gotten all the mesh cleaned up, I dry them under UV lights. And that's something that I've found. I don't get a lot of sun at my apartment, so I don't get the benefits of putting them out in the sun. So I use UV lights on the indoor, and I use indoor, but they have knobs on them to like adjust the lighting on how I want them. And like, I'll tell you what, like my mesh has come out a lot crisper, a lot cleaner, drying the shoes under the UV lights, and it's just something I just tried on a whim. You know what I mean? I just thought, okay, if the sun's going to dry, these are going to dry just as well. And that's something I learned along the way that nobody really ever showed me, but that I just, like, I think I did it to a Concord 11, and like the upper came out just so clean. And I was just like, I have to do this, like with every white shoe, like, and then I tested it and it worked. And it's like, and it's, I got my own secret little sauce that I clean it with and do, wash it with. But like, shouts to Reshoevn8r for the Rit. You gave up my secret, brother. Rit, that's my secret. Rit and Blue OxiClean for a washing machine. If you're if they're new enough and you can washing machine them. If they're too old, you got to scrub it the old way. Let the soap bring the dirt to the top, then clean them again, get that dirt out, and then dry them out. You know, but like if you're gonna put them in the wash, you got to use Rit and Blue OxiClean. You
Yes,
get that's my combination, and it doesn't matter if it's pods, don't matter if it's powder, OxiClean, but that's how I get my stuff white. And so I got one last question for you before we get out of here. What is your grail, bro? What is the shoe that has escaped you? Or even if you have it, like, what is your grail? Because I've never had my actual grail, but I've had other shoes that match it. And I'm weird, bro. You can see some in the back. I got Bo Jacksons. I got Penny 2s. I got Air Max 180s way at the top. You know, Jordan 33 or 32s. Like, I'm all over the board just because I like to step out in something different. Right now I'm wearing the 96 Barclays Olympic with gold aglets with diamonds in them. And I like, this is a shoe I wanted, and I bought it used, cleaned it up, fixed the paint, and now this is like my grail shoe, and I get to wear it around. You know, it's a 2016 release, I think. But what's your grail?
My grail, bro, no doubt, is the Raging Bull 5s, man, and I am blessed to have them, bro. Yeah, bro, I'm blessed to have a lovely life partner, bro, for sure.
Bro, this is a Raging Bull 5.
What happened to it?
No. So the suede was all ran out on the toe, and the suede was ruined over here. Like they had just been rubbing at it. I dyed it, man. He gave them to me, and I just dyed it black and iced them out, and I threw red laces in it. You can see underneath the mesh the red that's still red there.
Yep.
But they were, I know, like Raging Bull, like I knew what I was doing. Like, it's a $500 shoe, like when it's DS. And
but suede, they were cooked though, right?
They were cooked. There's nothing I could do. And you know me, I'm gonna do everything I possibly can to bring a shoe back. But they were cooked. And I took the Raging Bull 5 and I dyed it black, threw red laces in it, and dude let me keep them, and they were my size.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's tough, bro.
So like I took a disaster, and I knew I was like, this is like, I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this right now. But like, it actually gave me, you know, experience in dyeing suede and suede that's not there, experience in you know, like dyeing a whole shoe, like the whole thing. And like, you know, it gave me experience in that, and then just, you know, learning that, you know, until someone comes out with a suede that we can adhere, which I've tested, I've tried, I almost have a product ready, but it's like, it won't dye correctly. Like it'll adhere and it'll stay, it'll brush like suede, but when it dyes, like the dye brings it back up and you can brush it out. So I got to get that glue down where it adheres, and then we'll have a fix for suede, because once suede's cooked, you know, there's no coming back from that.
Right. Like man.
Yeah, it's especially suede. Suede's always a challenge to dry. I dry clean suede, you know, to make sure I don't put it through no washer. I use little soap. I use the foam Jason Mark and a light brush, and I also use a brass bristle and a rubber. And the shout out to Kiwi for holding it down. Kiwi with their little suede eraser, probably the best suede eraser that is in the game. Like people look at Kiwi and they think like that's cheap, bro. That's store, that like their
Kiwi products still get the job done, bro. For
that shiner for the patent leather shiner, the Express Shine, that is a secret weapon. So if anybody watches this episode, they'll know that you get the Express Shine neutral in your 11s, you hit them with that, and it looks wet. It makes it look wet. Like, oh my God, that's my finisher. Make sure I hit the 11s with that, and that's what I do before I finish. Go ahead.
Right. Another thing to that note, bro. So you mentioned Dre cleaning with hand soap. Well, I use my own mix at home because I'm a bit of a DIY guy, bro. That's another reason why I kind of never really stepped into like the big brands of ice cream and stuff, like and other cleaners and whatnot. Like I like Rejuvenator's cleaner, but like it runs out too quick, bro. Like I'd rather have something I can make at home. And it's going, you know, and it's going. But so like I say, I'm a DIY guy. So with that being said, like I have a little mixture I make at home that I clean shoes with, and dish soap is a part of it. But one thing people don't know, dish soap is a degreaser. So like if you use dish soap on your shoes, it can severely dry out your shoes, bro. But like one Kiwi thing that like saves me, I use a Kiwi saddle soap. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the product. Yeah, man, I use Kiwi saddle soap, bro, and I just condition my leather after I clean leather shoes.
Leather honey. That's what I use for
that beautiful shine, bro.
Yes, sir. Another product, Leather Honey, just for like uppers on like 3s and like any Jordan 1s. Leather Honey, you just put it on like a rag and rub it in. That Leather Honey gives it like conditions. Those Kanye Bapes I'm working on, I've been conditioning that leather, like trying to get it back. It's cracked and it's ruined. There's some parts that'll never come back. But like I'm trying to condition it. I've been conditioning it every day, trying to get it back to malleable.
Right, just get it to absorb that.
That exactly. But it's been a project and a half, like having to sew that thing back together. The kid thinks he's gonna wear them again, but I just don't. You seen the pictures, right? Of those?
Yes, sir.
Somebody surgically took those apart.
Just tell them, man, like, just let them know, bro, like, these are a collectible item, bro. Like, I've brought them back as much as they can be brought back. But, like, if you want them to remain in this condition, I highly recommend you don't wear them. Yeah. A guy just had me redo some 2s. He had me redo some Chicago 2s and some 6s. But they're, like, crumble, bro. Like, he had me re-glue them. But they're crumbling. Like, the 6s are crumbling and the 2s are crumble. And like I told him, like I sent him a message. Soon as I realized that they were crumbled, I said, "Hey man, I'm gonna glue these for you." Because I know you know what I'm saying. You're into your classic shoes, but like, I highly recommend you
don't wear them. Don't wear them. Yeah. And watch your air bubbles. If you air bubble is brown, you can't see through it, and a little bit of heat gun don't clear it, that shoe will crumble. That shoe will crumble. I bought a pair of Air Max 180 Ultramarines, and I thought, oh man, these are good. The air bubble look good. It still crumbled on me. I had to get another pair, a newer pair. Basically, anything older than 2010 right now is, if it's older than 10 years, it's probably gonna crumble on you.
Yeah, like it's a chance, bro.
It's a good chance, unless you've worn them. If you've worn them a couple times, a good couple times every year, I've seen some shoes that have held up surprisingly over the years, but for the most part, it's like, if it's over 10 years, it's a wrap. Yep. Hey man, anything you want to get out there before we wrap up and get out of here? Anything you want to say? I would shout out to your Instagram at VilUseKicks. I'm gonna put it up on the screen one more time, just so everyone could see. Anybody that, if send some shoes his way, and he's always got deals and steals. So he's got for sale, and also he does customers, Foamposites, Jordans, Nikes, anything you got, tons of references. We'll pull up the reference page again. Nothing but positive reviews. Look at that. That's all positive. It's all good. I highly recommend dude. I vouch for him. I've seen his work. It's anything you got to say? Anything you want to get out there?
First and foremost, bro, thank you, no doubt, bro, for just giving me this platform, bro. Thank you for, what I'm saying, like, giving me the opportunity to share a little bit about myself, bro, my backstory, where I want to go with everything. Like, I want to thank you for a little bit of all of that, bro. Like, just because, what I'm saying, it's cool to chop it up, what I'm saying, it's cool to talk, but at the same time, like, to have somebody give you an opportunity to show other people, what I'm saying, what it is that you're about, what it is that you do, where you want to go, bro, like, that's huge. So, what I'm saying, like, thank you to you, bro. Big shouts to you, bro. I know this series is gonna be crazy, bro. Like, this is just season 1, correct? Like,
season 1, man. You're episode 5. You're episode 5. So we've gone up every episode. Every episode has gotten more views than the last and faster. Right. So as long as that keeps happening and we keep moving forward, we're gonna keep doing it. I'm definitely gonna push to season 2 and see who I can't get. I want to bring back some people. maybe some people in the earlier episode, maybe they didn't feel like they didn't get their just dessert. You know what I mean? Whatever. But season 2, I want to bring on some bigger names, bigger people,
Definitely,
some people that kind of like maybe up there above us, that because they're up there. There's some people out there they're up there, but they're gonna charge you an arm and a leg, but they're up there.
Right.
Yeah, man. No, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you spending time. I know it's 3 hours ahead out there. It's all love. Anything you need, anything you ever need, you know how to get a hold of. You know how to get a hold of me. At Use Kicks. Go check that out. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
No doubt, bro. No doubt. Likewise.